Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Nick here, and welcome to this irregular type of video. This one's actually going to be an edited news reaction video, and it is also a run on the news that BBC America is pulling funding of animating missing Doctor Who episodes following the release of The Abominable Snowmen later this year. That's it. That's it for animated missing episodes of Doctor Who, or at least ones partly funded by BBC America. By the way, that's not to you guys, by the way. That's never to you guys, unless you do something that earns it. As of yet, you haven't, so that's not for you. It's for BBC America pulling the funding to missing Doctor Who episodes following The Abominable Snowman, which will now not happen, or at least not yet, not for the foreseeable future. This news fucking sucks! Missing animation episode, the missing episodes animated are, well, animation varies, but generally they're great. They're really great episodes, and it allows fans and new viewers to experience episodes that otherwise are only available via audio. I do have the audio CDs down there, but it allows them to see them visually. And unlike reconstructions, they can actually move. They can actually have the motions. It's animation recreating the original episodes. They're not always beat for beat exact, but it allows you to have an animated version of what the original episodes used to be. And it's not so much of a reconstruction, it's more of a remake through animation, but it's a new take on the episodes. And it's great. We've had so many episodes from the 1960s, mostly featuring the Second Doctor, but mostly because he had most of the missing episodes are gone. But also a couple of the First Doctor ones have also been animated, and it's been great to experience some of these episodes in animation. I wasn't really fond of Fury from the Deep, for example, in the reconstruction version, but the animation, whilst the animation not the best, I really liked the episode watching the animated version. Same for Power of the Daleks. I really enjoyed watching Power of the Daleks, a story people have been praising for many years, and I was like, I haven't seen this yet, so with the animation version, been able to see it, and yes, great. Macra, whilst I'm not a huge fan of that story, I did like it more when I saw the animated version than the second reconstruction version. It's just been so great to see many of these stories animated. I haven't watched the Galaxy 4 one yet, but I've seen all of them up to Fury from the Deep in black and white and colour, and Galaxy Web of Fear. I haven't seen the colour version of episode 3 yet, but I have watched the episode 3 black and white one, and Evil of the Darks I've seen in black and 3, the full length one. I've still got to watch the colour version and also the black and white version with the surviving episode, episode 2. But the animation for these, apart from Web of Fear episode 3, the animation for these have been mostly good. It's been great having these stories back in some form, not just in the audio soundtracks. And the same can be said for animations done before BBC Studios started doing this in 2016 with the Power of the Daleks. The first one we got was The Invasion in 2006, and I stand by that's probably the best one, or at least prior to the Macra Terror anyway. That's my favourite of the animation styles, although the best animation is probably Macra Terrors. And that was the bee's knees at the time. Well, I say at the time, I didn't get it back in when it came out in 2006, but I got it later on, about 2011, I think. No, 2012. And yeah, it's great. It was great. And when I was starting collecting Doctor Who DVDs and watching the classic series stories and stuff, and then getting into Classic Who, and it was great seeing those 2 episodes animated. I could watch the whole 8-part story. Heck, I could watch the whole 8-part story in one sitting a couple times back in the day. Ice Warriors also had some great animated missing episodes. Episodes 2 and 3, the animation was great there. Whilst I'm not a fan of that story, the animation was great, and same for the 10th Planet episode 4 and the Moon Base 1 and 3. Not the Reign of Terror parts 4 and 5. The animation there just fucking sucks. I mean, I thought again, that was probably the worst animation until Web of Fear Part 3. Thankfully, the animation team got better at doing animated episodes in time for 10th Planet and Moonbase. And those were really good animated episodes, especially 10th Planet Part 4. And many fans really loved the Moonbase 2 episodes. Underwater Menace was supposed to have its 2 missing episodes animated, but it didn't happen. There was a problem with the company, and then eventually BBC Studios released the DVD with the half-done reconstruction. And Underwater Menace is a story that I think many fans were hoping would probably get its 2 missing episodes animated, with a special edition release similar to Web of Fear, because those reconstructions are probably the worst too. And then we got the really great series of animated stories starting in 2016 with Power of the Daleks. Shada followed 2017, Macra Terror 2019, Faceless Ones and Fury from the Deep, plus Power of the Daleks special edition in 2020. And 2021, okay, the first half of the year wasn't that great for animations, but second half, we had Web of Fear special edition. I mean, the animation wasn't that great there, but it was great to have the story again. Evil of the Daleks, Galaxy 4, and the announcement of the Abominable Snowmen, which will be next this year at some point. I did get an email from H&B saying it was going to be released on May the 30th, as I pre-ordered the Steelbook. However, recently I received an email saying that the date's now changed back to be decided, so could still be May the 30th, and they decided to wait a bit longer before confirming, or in case they change their minds, but we'll see when it happens. May sounds like a good time though, because that does put about 6 months between Galaxy 4 and Abominable Snowmen. But by the sounds of it, it's going to be the last one. Well, at least the last one partly funded by BBC America, who have decided to pull the funding after, 6 years of... Well, I think they partly funded Power the Daleks. And then certainly all of them from Shada onwards. FYI, Shada updated animation 2021 as well. But yeah, BBC America have stupidly decided to stop funding these animations, because these were great animations for the most part. Yeah, Reign of Terror, which was not BBC Studios one, but I'm including all the missing animation episodes. Reign of Terror and Web of Fear is not that great, although Web of Fear could, after a bit of time getting used to it and tweaking it, could eventually get better over time. So it's probably better they used it for Web of Fear Part 3, and instead of doing a bigger story. For example, say all 4 episodes of The Highlanders, for instance, it's better that they used it for a single part story and they had the dodgy 25 minutes worth of animation for one episode, as opposed to 4, 6, maybe more episodes of dodgy CG 3D animation. Could be maybe later down the line it could work. It could be better. It could be improved on. But as we saw with Web of Fear, not so good. But we have had the really good 2D animation ones. The styles of the 2D animation ones that we've seen for Macra, for Power, for Shada, for Macra, Faceless, and then a new one for Fury from the Deep, which I believe was the version that's been used for Galaxy 4 and the upcoming The Abominable Snowmen, and then Evil uses a similar the same animation as the other ones I've mentioned. And yeah, they've been looking really good, especially the Power, Shada, Macra, Faceless, Evil ones. That's a really great animation style, especially when Macra Terror, that was probably the peak of the animations themselves. That was just really strong animation. Faceless ones and Evil are also pretty great animated ones. And I do like the style that they have got for Fury from the Deep, and I did like that animation. Again, I've got to watch Galaxy 4 at some point. But yeah, the animations just generally look really great. And it's such a shame that BBC America have just decided, fuck it, we're cancelling the funding for these. There's not going to be any more, or if there is going to be any more, we're not going to be funding it or co-funding it. I know the limitations on animating these missing episodes, and Charles Norton, the producer and director of some of the animations like Power, Shada, Macra Terror, he has spoken out about how some episodes are going to be quite tricky to do, like Marco Polo, The Crusade, believe it or not. Even though it's 2 episodes, or 4 episodes if they do the full length full-length version, but several characters, several costume changes, several locations. It would be a tricky challenge for them. And of course, we got the 12-part major epic, The Daleks' Master Plan. Someone would have to tackle that at some point. And even though it's going to be towards the top, if not at the very top of fans' most wanted story to be animated, it's certainly up there on my list. It would take a lot more time. In fact, it'd probably be the length of 2 of the regular animated episodes. Let's say the production of The Faceless Ones and Fury from the Deep combined, that's how long Dalek's Master Plan would take. Throw in also the one episode of Web of Fear for Mission to the Unknown. And yeah, there you go, 13 episodes. And yeah, technically we did get 14 episodes released last year, 2021, and 18 if you include the Power of the Daleks Special Edition in 2020. But yeah, for one story, we got Master Plan's a 12-part story, 13 if you throw in Mission to the Unknown as part of that story, though I would personally have done it individually and released the 2 as a box set. Yeah, Master Plan would be at the top of many people's lists. And now that's not going to be happening. Most of them is not going to be happening. We're not going to get Marco Polo. We're not going to get the Crusade. We're not going to get the Mythmakers. We're not going to get Mission to the Unknown. Not going to get the Mythmakers, Dalek's Master Plan, the Massacre of St. Bartholomew's Eve, Celestial Toymaker, the Savages, the Smugglers, the Highlanders, the Wheel in Space, or the Space Pirates. And even the Space Pirates. I'm even disappointed that we're not going to get the Space Pirates. My least favourite story of the entire show. Maybe the animated episodes 1 and 3 to 6 might have improved my opinion of the episodes. Or at the very least, make me enjoy it a tad bit more than the reconstructions or the audio-only versions. Not heard the audio-only versions, just seen the reconstructions. But, you know, seeing animation episodes of that story might have improved my opinion a teeny little bit more. At the very least, give me a bit more joy watching it. Or at the very least, like, oh, at least the animation looks nice. But, yeah, not going to happen now. Space Pirates, fucked. Wheel in Space, that 10 minutes, that's what we're getting of it. That they made for the Missing Believed White event in 2018. 18? Yeah, and then released on the Macroterra DVD and Blu-ray in 2019. Not going to get any more than that 10 minutes. And no episodes 1 and 4 of Underwater Menace. That's not going. It's not going to happen. No Highlanders. They were thinking of doing the Highlanders before they decided to do Macroterra. That's gone. Yeah, they did mention too much tartan, but still, they probably get around to it eventually. But that's gone. That's not going to happen. And no more William Hartnells. No more. At least unless BBC Studios decides to carry on doing these animations without BBC America's funding. Maybe they'll get funding from somewhere else, like BritBox, for example, who are streaming some of the missing episode animations on there, like the Macroterra, Faceless Ones, Power of the Daleks, Shada movie version. They probably put in they might say, hey, we want to put more of these episodes on here so fans can watch. We can give you a bit of money to fund a couple of episodes. Maybe they just do it for maybe we just have the black and white versions and only the missing episodes and not the entire story. Like BBC America's, one of their demands had to be the whole story and in colour plus black and white. The black and white version and colour, so that they can televise the full story in animated in colour on BBC America. And this is where we come to the reason why BBC America are cutting funding to this project. It's because apparently viewing figures haven't been very high when watching the episodes on BBC America. Yep, apparently it's viewing figures that's killing Doctor Who, but not Series 13, the animated episode. Series 13 is actually doing, considering the television landscape of the UK at the time, it's hanging in there. Point is that Doctor Who's kind of doing well within the UK viewing figures at the moment, considering the TV landscape at the moment in the UK. BBC America, on the other hand, the United States of America has several times more the population, so it has several times more population viewing figures. And if the viewing figures aren't doing very well, in America, that's a bigger problem than in the UK. For example, the Doctor Who TV movie had about 9 million viewers in the UK when it broadcast in 1996, but in the United States, it had about 5 million. And the United States is like a couple times bigger than the UK. So the fact that there's a couple more million viewers, you could honestly get more than, you could get like 10, 20 million viewers, I suppose. Okay, maybe not quite 20, but you can get high viewing numbers in the US, and the TV movie only had 5. So Fox decided not to continue with making a series, a Doctor Who series following that. So that's why Paul McGann's only had one TV episode until 2013. But it seems to be the same problem has happened here. Viewing figures on BBC America don't seem to be very high, so they've decided to cut the fund. They've decided to stop funding the animation projects following The Abominable Snowmen. Thank you, BBC America. Because the viewing figures weren't going well for you, that means you've got to fuck it up for everybody else. What about in the UK? Well, from what I've heard, the animation episodes are usually number one on Amazon, especially the steelbooks. They do really well. They're really popular. And around the world, many people will be really hoping to see these episodes animated and stream them on BritBox or get them on DVD and Blu-ray. Australia gets them. The US gets the DVDs and Blu-rays as well. And the fact that you're just cutting ties because they don't do very well broadcast-wise. Yet they probably make tons of money from the DVD and Blu-ray sales. And yet it's the viewing figures on your it's the viewing figures that you're more worried about. Like it's more of showing this on the television on the TV channels is more of an honor. The fact that these episodes actually get broadcast on television is quite an honor, at least in America anyway, not in the UK. But the fact that these episodes get shown on telly in the first place is honestly an honor, and you're more worried about the reception there than the sales. It makes no sense. The sales should come first, because that means you've got the people actually buying the stuff. You're buying the DVDs, you're buying the Blu-rays, you're buying the steelbooks, you're buying the collection box sets. In the case of Shada, and also when seasons 1 to 6 come along. But no, it's the viewing figures that apparently BBC America are more worried about. Yeah, BBC America is a television series, but the money these things are scraping in must at least make up for some of that, right? Right, BBC America, I know you want some good viewing figures, but surely you're getting some money quite a bit of money out of this, because they're making quite a bit of money. Seriously, us Doctor Who fans will lap up any and all copies of these stories on whatever material, whatever release they get. Some fans will just get the 1 or 2. Some fans will get all of them. So it could be, honestly, you can get the DVD, you can get the Blu-ray, you can have the Steelbook, you can get the collection box set. Heck, that's the limited edition. You could even get the collection box set standard release when they come out. That's 4 or 5 copies of the same story. Some fans will just get 1, some will get 2, some will get all 4 or 5. And know that there's not going to be any more of that. It's such a shame. Oh, well, at least on the plus side, we'll save some space in our Steelbook Blu-ray collections, as well as also the DVD and Blu-ray collections in general. But still, it's not going to be so great not seeing these really special Steelbooks on display for the Classic Series. New series will carry on, at least. But, well, hopefully. But for the Classic Series, it's a shame. Oh, by the way, if you're wondering, the black DVD between Evil and Webb and after Series 12 are placeholders for Abominable Snowmen and Series 13, respectively. And the big one at the end next to Doctor and the Daleks is just bookend. Also, I got the 4K Twice Upon a Time in this collection here as well, instead of with the regular DVDs and Blu-rays, because it's the only Doctor Who 4K release we got. It's a very special release. I may as well put it with the Steelbooks, especially as it's not on the bloody Series 10 one. And it looks like Revolution of the Daleks is going the same way. Yay. But not being included on the Series 12 or 13 ones. Yay, I hope it gets a 4K release. That is the thing. Where are the 4K releases for Series 11 and 12? and 13 and the specials that come with them. It's just Once Upon a Time. That's a rant for another day. It's also probably not helped by the fact that BBC America don't really, from what I've heard from a good friend, Robert Morrison, who is a fellow member of the Universals. Check him out. I'll link his Twitter below, and also a link to the Universals channel. He's an American and living, I think he's about Texas area. It's a whole state, idiot. But somewhere in Texas, I think, or somewhere around there. And according to him, BBC America's showings of the Doctor Who episodes, well, it makes sense for them to be shown the whole story and in colour. That makes sense for that demand. But apparently they show the whole story at once on the channel, and they barely even promote the story for when they do show it. No wonder your viewing figures suck, BBC America. If you don't promote the thing, no one will watch it. That's why Doctor Who Series 12 and 13 have such low viewing figures in the UK, is because the series don't get promoted enough. They didn't. Series 12 didn't get its first trailer until November 2019, and it only had just over a month to promote the new series, as opposed to Series 11, which had its first teaser and its first trailer 2.5 months in advance, with a second teaser just over a month, and then a second full trailer about a month beforehand. As we've seen from Series 12 and 13, if you don't promote it properly, you won't get the viewing figures, and that seems to be what BBC America's done here. They haven't promoted the episodes. And then they decide to show all 4 to 6 episodes of the respective stories on the same day, probably taking up a lot of space in their schedule. And whilst it's great to binge watch these episodes on video, DVD, and Blu-ray, I think many people probably wouldn't want to watch all 6 episodes of, say, Fury from the Deep, or the Faceless Ones, or Power of the Daleks on one day in one screening. It might have been better if they maybe had 2 a day, or 1 or 2 a day. Maybe in an hour's block they could show 2 episodes. Say, for example, the Faceless Ones, you'd have 3 days of 2 episodes back to back. And in the case of odd number episodes, maybe 1 day of 3 episodes. So, for example, Eve or the Daleks would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But from what I've heard, it's apparently all episodes in 1 day, which, again, like I said, is great for DVD, Blu-ray, but or video, but or binge or streaming, but not so much for the television broadcasts, as they've probably got a schedule to keep, and then somehow you've got 4, 6, 7 episodes of animated Doctor Who just bunking up an hour and 40 to nearly 3 hours of BBC America's schedule on 1 day, as opposed to, say, maybe an hour and a half. And that's not even counting breaks, actually. That's not including adverts. It's probably more with adverts. But if they did 2 or 3 episodes a day, then they could just show them in an hour, or in the case of 3 episodes, an hour and a quarter, hour and a half, televised blocks, including adverts. So, yeah, it baffles me that they've decided to show the whole story in one go. I can get it for Shada because that was a movie in 2017. That was a movie length production, so I can get why they showed that in its entirety on 1 day. But for the individual episode ones, you can just show 2 episodes a day, or 3 episodes in some cases, and it would probably work just as well. Maybe the viewing figures will go up and down, but that's what Classic Who was like back in the day. Episodes of viewing figures varied, and if putting all 6, 7, 4 episodes on the same day is what turns people off, maybe 4 episodes is okay, but 6 or 7 is pushing it. But that's probably what's turning people off in America, or not making them tune in, because there's so much to watch. And yeah, because of the viewing figures, and because of the decisions of broadcasting the episode and the lack of promotion, at least from what I've heard from my friend Robert, that's why BBC America pulling the plug. So what does this mean for the future of Doctor Who animated stories? Well, like I said, unless they find another funder like BBC, like BritBox, for example, or maybe if there's an Australian company who are up for saying we still want missing episodes released in Australia, animated and released on DVD and Blu-ray in Australia. We'll give you that. Or one of the production teams was in India. Maybe there's an Indian team. I don't know, somebody, unless somebody's willing to co-fund the BBC, or BBC Studios, or BBC Studios has enough money to actually work on the thing, then maybe we'll get some more. But as of now, and unless they can make some sort of deal with BBC America, um, it doesn't look like we're going to be getting any more after the Abominable Snowmen for the foreseeable future. Maybe they'll try and push to have something out in 2023 for the 60th anniversary, but I'm not holding my breath for that. And it sucks even more considering that next year was the 60th anniversary. We could have had, not only could we have had more missing animated stories, we've recently started coming into Hartnell. After Abominable Snowmen, we only had 3 stories with Patrick Troughton, one from season 4, one from season 5, and one from season 6. The latter two, those are the last stories of those respective seasons. Season 4's also got Smugglers. But only 3 more Patrick Troughton stories after Abominable Snowmen, and that would be it. Patrick Troughton's done. And season 5 and 6 would be done. One more story from season 4 after the Highlanders, that would be the Smugglers, and that's season 4 done. Crusade, difficult production, but those 2 episodes, season 2's done. Same for Marco Polo, 7 difficult episodes to animate. That season's done. Season 3 is really the big one in terms of overcoming all of these stories from the Hartnell era, because there's so many stories from season 3 that are partly or completely missing. In fact, there might even be more missing episodes from season 3. It's just that season 4 has no complete story, so they've got more missing serials, or partly missing serials, of actually season 3's probably got more, actually. Well, no, season 3 had 3 complete seasons before they started doing the animations. So, yeah, season 4 didn't have any complete stories, because every single story had at least 1 missing episode. But now we're down to only 2 stories being incomplete, and both of them are completely missing because of the animated, or in the case of Underwater Menace, reconstructions of these missing episodes. And that's another thing. Underwater Menace's 2 missing episodes have to also be animated as well for season 4 to be complete. And like I said, maybe they could have done a updated, more refined version of Web of Fear. They get rid of the kinks, get rid of what was wrong with that one, and just fix it. Or it's like what they did with the pre-BBC Studios animated stories, Invasion, Reign of Terror, 10th Planet, Ice Warriors, Moonbase, where they just animate those 2 missing episodes. Especially now with BBC Studios, BBC America, are not going to be demanding every single episode in colour. If the BBC Studios want to go ahead and continue animating episodes with their own funding, then they just stick to doing the black and whites of each episode, maybe just the missing ones. Like, for example, Underwater Menace 1 and 4, as opposed to all 4 episodes of the Underwater Menace, also in colour. And I think it might even be, it might be easier for them to animate in colour and then turn it black and white. But then again, I think they animated Power of the Daleks in colour in black and white to begin with, and then they had to colorize it for BBC American. That's the version we get on the Steelbook. And then the special edition was just the black and white version, no color edition for that one. So it is theoretically possible to just do black and white. Same for the BBC Studios ones as well. So you can just do the black and white versions of the stories if they wanted to go alone and if they didn't want it to be too costly, then it could just be the episodes that need animating in black and white only, as opposed to doing the whole story and in color as well. And that could be a helpful way to get these episodes out, and without having to spend too much money on them. Some of the larger scale episodes, like lots of characters or lots of episodes and lots of locations and stuff, would have to come later. So that's something like Galaxy 4, for example, would be a good idea to do to start off with the next one after Abominable Snowmen, if they decide to do carry on, or at some point come back and without a secondary funder. Or if they do get another funder, then they could go back to what they were doing, or some sort of compromise between the two. It really all depends on what happens. But as of as of what the situation looks like, it's just looking like it's dead in the water after Abominable Snowman, which really sucks. The 60th anniversary could have been a great year to release one of the more challenging animated stories, one of the more fan favorite ones like Marco Polo, or maybe 2023 when we have that 12-part epic Dalek Master Plan, 2 production boxes of 6, one extra one of one for Missions to the Unknown. Boom, 13 episodes. 1 year, just that one parter and that 12-parter released in 2023, that would have been fantastic. Or 2022 to 23 could have been the 2 years where some seasons got complete, seasons 5 and 6, notably. And maybe maybe the whole Patrick Troughton era with some season 4 stuff. More William Hartnell stuff could have been expanded on. We've only just had, like I said, with Galaxy 4, and we've only just started with William Hartnell again. Because with Galaxy 4, that was the first William Hartnell one since The 10th Planet. It's only the third Hartnell animation, and like I said, there's loads of Season 3 stuff still out there waiting to be animated or reconstructed officially, not fan ones like Release Cannon and stuff, but official reconstructions. And there's so much Season 3 stuff out there, and we've only just scratched the surface. Season 3 is... Yeah, I think Season 3 is definitely the most lost season now. Oh boy, more lost. Now that Season 4's got more stories complete with animation, Season 3 is now looking quite bare in comparison. Oh dear, oh dear. Compare that to Seasons 2 and 6, which are pretty much done, bar a couple of episodes. In fact, Season 2's only got 2 missing episodes. That's actually really good for Season 2, but Season 3... Oh dear. I suppose one makes up for the other. One has more missing episodes to make up for the other, having a lot of surviving ones, more surviving ones. One has more surviving episodes to make up for the other, having more missing episodes. I think same could be said for Seasons 4 and 6. But, yeah, the fact we're not going to get any more Season 3 stuff is annoying. I mean, we could have had the Massacre, we could have had the Celestial Toymaker, we could have had the Dalek's Master Plan, plus Mission to the Unknown. And we're not going to get it now. We could have had the Highlanders. We could have had the Wheel in Space. We could have had the Space Pirates. We could have had those 2 missing episodes of Underwater Menace, given the proper animation, like Web of Fear, but better. And we're not going to get that. We're not going to get any of them. Because once Abominable Snowman comes out, that's it. Unless, like I said, another company comes in to co-finance them, or BBC Studios go alone, but maybe with some cut downs. But the whole situation just fucking sucks. We fans lap up these episodes. We love seeing these episodes come back. We love the animations. Yeah, okay, it's not for everybody, but still, the majority of fans love seeing these episodes again. And new fans get to experience them for the first time. I even when I got the Macroterra, I think it was the DVD or the Blu-ray. I think it was the DVD. Got it in Sainsbury's when they were doing DVDs at the time, and the guy saying it was like, oh, it's the new Doctor Who one, a new old one. So people like people who may not be as well known. I don't know if he's a Doctor Who fan or not, or he definitely knew about this was an old episode brought back to life, and it was released on DVD and Blu-ray. But yeah, for the general public, this is new entry points into the classic series, new animated episodes of missing stories, or animated episodes of part missing stories, and it's their way into classic Who, or Doctor Who in general if they haven't experienced it before, or maybe they're into 60s sci-fi, so especially the color ones, the black and white ones, and they want to check it out. And yeah, this would be really great. Yeah, it is mostly the fans who will buy this, but that doesn't mean it's not gonna appeal to other people. And the fact that they're not going to happen anymore sucks. On the plus side, at least we have more in the arc, more animated episodes now than when they stopped doing them in 2014, because they seem to be on a roll in 2013, just as much as they were until now with the BBC studio ones. But the ones they had in 2013, they were on a roll with 3 that year and 1 the next year. They were on a bit of a mini roll. Not a mini roll, a mini roll. It was actually really great. Those were those were the exceptions. Those were the special ones at the time. And now the idea of possibly all of the store by, well, Power the Daleks again would also join this charter. But once we start getting into more of them getting made later on, it felt so special having these done. And there was that hope that someday, if not all of the missing episodes are found, maybe, or at least any more of the missing episodes are found at all, to be honest, we could honestly have all of the episodes animated, or almost all the episodes animated, and the last couple ones left over a proper, good reconstruction. And that would be it. We could have all of the episodes. But it looks like the dream of having more animated episodes of Doctor Who, or classic Doctor Who episodes that are missing, looks like after Abominable Snowmen, that dream's going to be on hiatus until the next one does get made at some point down the road. And the fact that it's coming to an end because BBC America pulling the finances because they don't do well on television broadcasts, even though they do really, really, really well in sales, especially in the UK, it sucks. It really sucks. And I stand by with the production teams and BBC Studios if they wanted to cut ties with BBC America entirely, based on this information, and I completely support them full right, because they've done, for the most part, great jobs with these episodes, and they deserve all the praise and money that they earn. So, BBC Studios and creative production teams behind the missing episodes since 2016, here's to you. Thank you so, so much for these missing episodes. Still got the Abominable Snowmen to look forward to, and for people like me, if you've still got to catch up with some of the other ones, like still got to catch up with Galaxy 4 and the new version of Shada, but the 2021 version. But you know, there's still plenty of out there you can check out if you can try, and also don't forget to check out the ones before 2016 as well, because every little helps. But yeah, unless some sort of arrangement with BBC America or somebody else can be arranged, or BBC Studios confident to go alone, which I think they did with Power the Daleks initially, but I'm not so sure. But still, unless they're confident to go alone, or they can find someone else to back them, this seems to be it for Doctor Who animated missing episodes. For now, maybe we'll be lucky and they'll do something special for 2023. Oh, but that might be pushing it. Oh well. Here's to the good times we've had, and the times that we still get to have, with the last one coming soon. Even though we don't know exactly when it's supposed to come out. Now, again. Well, thank you so much for watching this very long, by this point, rant/discussion of the Doctor Who missing episodes being animation funding by BBC America being cut, and no more missing episode animations as of now. From what we know now, after the Abominable Snowmen, again, maybe something will come of it afterwards, but as of right now, it's going to be the last one, and it sucks. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye. Oh, and for good measure, one last fuck you to BBC America and the American audiences who didn't tune in to watch those episodes on BBC America. I now have another reason why I'm glad I live in the United Kingdom. Don't forget to click below to subscribe to the Nicholas Payne YouTube channel.